From beginning our friendship on the bus to Green Am Fire Up, to watching her live her dream throughout this year, I have gotten the opportunity to watch her grow into the amazing young leader she is. No matter what she is doing, she is always down to get Dr. Pepper and ice cream. That is, if she's not with her dog Zoe, talking about Zoe, or looking at pictures of Zoe. She has taught me many things, but the best thing she has taught me is passion. Passion for the FFA and passion for everything I do. I'm so honored to be able to call her a best friend.
I have had the opportunity to be part of many of my sister's firsts, from teaching her to crawl for the first time to watching her shoot her first deer. She has continued to amaze me in everything she does. I've loved sharing a passion for agriculture and everything outdoors with her. I can't wait to see where that passion takes her in life, and I know that she will make me proud to be her brother.
From playing dress-up in preschool to rekindling our friendship by chance in high school, we have been on so many adventures together. Before meeting her and joining FFA, I was a quiet kid who didn't like to step out of my comfort zone. She has constantly pushed me to do new things like skiing or participating in a CDE I was terrified to do. I was so proud to watch her go on her adventure as a state officer, and I know she'll continue to do great things in the years to come.
Please help me in welcoming my little sister.
And our best friend, in your 2018-2019 North Central State Vice President, Alexis Berte.
I never did ask, don't you moved away, but I learned something from my blue-eyed girl. Sink or swim, you gotta give it a whirl. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. The longer I live, the more I believe.
When I was a little girl, I loved planting the garden with my dad each spring. The day before we would plant, we would head off to the store to pick out the seeds. One year in particular, I remember a pack of sunflower seeds catching my eye. Being the stubborn 6-year-old I was determined to plant those sunflowers in my garden. Now, these sunflowers weren't going to serve any particular purpose because the rest of the vegetables were going to be eaten by my family members and I. But somehow, I convinced my dad to let me plant them. Before I knew it, my sunflowers had grown to be 6 feet tall. Since they attracted so many bees, it made collecting the vegetables a little bit difficult. But I soon taught my family to appreciate the beauty and the color that they brought to my garden. Just like my sunflowers, we must continue to grow and nurture our passions day in and day out. It's not something that happens overnight, and we don't always get the results that we want. Now, for my friend Bryce, this was true. Imagine this. You work for months preparing your interview skills and general knowledge of the FFA. It's finally time to put those skills to the test, and you walk into the interview room, shake the hands of the nominating committee as you exit, and you feel confident that you did your absolute best. When the ballot is announced later that evening, you find your name on the list. For the next month, you prepare your speech. At district convention, you give your speech and answer the 2 questions on stage without flaw. But somehow, when the new district officer team is announced, hear your opponent's name. You think to yourself, how could this have happened? Have any of you been in a similar situation to this? You did your best, you gave it your all, but in the end, it just wasn't quite enough. Now, this person was my best friend. Bryce did the best he could that day, and he struggled with the loss. But that loss did not define him or the person he was going to become. A couple of weeks later, Bryce interviewed for chapter president. Once again, he put those skills to the test. He felt confident as he exited the interview room. And a few days later, when the new chapter officer team was announced, he found his name on the list, followed by the words, President. Bryce could have sulked for months in that first failure, but he didn't. He continued to get back up, grow himself, his chapter, and his passion for the FFA. We all have loss and failure in life that we struggle to recover from. I know I've had plenty in my life, and I'm sure all of you have too. Now, let's take a step back to my junior year of high school. I was at the second round of regional golf, and I was playing the best round of golf of my entire life. Well, except for my putting. At the end of the day, my putting cost me a trip to the state tournament. In those moments, I felt so defeated. I did my best, but it just wasn't enough in those moments. I knew that if my team and I practiced all summer and into the upcoming season, we would make it to the state tournament that next year. And that is exactly what we did. We continued to grow our passions and our love for the game of golf, just like Bryce grew his passions for FFA. When I'm having a difficult time, just like I was my junior year when I didn't make it to the state tournament, I remember this quote by Napoleon Hill. Strength and growth only come through continuous effort and struggle. Just like this quote says, we must continue to grow our passions and persevere through that effort and struggle, whether they be in the agriculture field or any other interests that we may have. We all have passions that are waiting to be developed. When we find those passions, we can grow into the person we were meant to be. Just like my sunflowers grew to be 6 feet tall. Even in those moments of defeat, we have to get back up and continue to grow our passions because we all have unique passions that are just waiting to be discovered. Iowa FFA, when you walk out those doors today, go find your passions, continue to nurture them, and choose to grow.